In Okoro village, there was one name that people spoke with pride, anger, love, and pain all at the same time. That name was Obina. Every morning, before the sun rose fully, Obina was already awake. While other young men were still sleeping, he was in his garden, holding his hoe and smiling at his crops. "Today will be a good day," he often said to himself. And most times, he was right. Obina was the only successful farmer in Okoro village. His yam was big, his cassava was healthy, and his vegetables were fresh. When people went to the market, they asked, "Is this Obina's produce?" If the answer was yes, they bought it quickly. Old men praised him. "This boy is hard-working," they said. Women admired him. "Any girl who marries Obina will never suffer," they whispered. Young girls looked at him and smiled shyly when he passed. Obina was tall, strong, and handsome. He walked with confidence, and his laughter was loud and sweet. Because of this, many girls in Okoro village wanted him. Every evening, when Obina returned from his farm, girls gathered near the road, pretending to fetch water or sweep their compounds. "Obina, you are back early today," one girl would say. "Yes, Obina, come and drink water first," another would add. Obina would smile and wave. "I'm tired today. I must rest." Sometimes, he stopped. Sometimes, he didn't. His friend, Chinidu, often joked with him. "Obina, are you made of gold?" Chinidu laughed. "All the girls are fighting for you." Obina laughed too. "I don't have time for all that. My farm needs me." But that was not the full truth. Even though Obina loved farming, he also loved attention from girls. When he chose one, she felt special. "Obina loves me," a girl would tell her friends. Obina would promise sweet words. "You are the only one," he would say, "I will marry you." The girls believed him. After some time, Obina would leave them. He would stop visiting. He would stop talking. The girls cried. One night, a girl named Amara sat by the river, crying. "Why did he do this to me?" she sobbed. Her friend held her hand. "He used you and left you." Another girl, Ngozi, cried in her mother's hut. "Obina destroyed my life," she said. Many girls Obina left behind cried and suffered. Some of them spoke words from pain. "Obina will never know peace," they said. "He will suffer like we suffered." These words spread in the village like smoke in the wind. But Obina did not care. One afternoon, as Obina rested under a tree near his farm, Chinidu came to him. "My friend," Chinidu said seriously, "you must stop this." "Stop what?" Obina asked. "The way you treat girls," Chinidu replied. "You are hurting many people." Obina sighed. "Chinidu, I don't force anyone. They come by themselves." "That is not true," Chinidu said. "You promised them marriage. You lie." Obina stood up and dusted his clothes. "Enough. I don't want to hear this again." Chinidu shook his head. "Bad actions bring bad results." Obina laughed and walked away. As time passed, people started talking. "That Obina is not a good man," some women said. "He is rich, but his heart is not clean," others added. Still, Obina's farm continued to grow. His harvest became bigger each year. To him, this meant the curses were useless. "See my life," he told himself. "Nothing bad has happened." But deep inside, something was changing. Some nights, Obina could not sleep well. He would hear voices in his dreams. "Why did you leave me? Why did you hurt me?" He woke up sweating. "It is just a dream," he said. One evening, Obina sat alone outside his house. The moon was bright. The village was quiet. An old woman passed by and stopped. "Obina," she called. "Yes, Mama," he replied. She looked at him deeply. "Be careful, my son. Not every blessing stays forever." Obinna frowned. What do you mean? The woman shook her head. Pain spoken from the heart does not die easily. Before Obinna could reply, she walked away. He laughed softly. Old people and their stories. But that night, he slept late, thinking. The next morning, Obinna woke up early as usual. My farm is my future, he said. He picked up his tools and walked toward his garden, not knowing that his life was about to change forever. The same garden that brought him success would soon bring him mystery, fear, and a strange visitor. And so, the story of Obinna, the pride of Okoro village, moved slowly toward a dark turn he never expected. The morning was quiet in Okoro village. The sky was still pale, and the sun was just starting to rise. Birds sang softly in the trees, and cool air touched the skin. Obinna woke up early as usual. This day will be better than yesterday, he said, tying his wrapper. He picked up his hoe and walked toward his garden. Farming was his joy. When he stepped on his land, he felt strong and proud. These crops will make me smile again, he said, looking around. As he walked between the rows of cassava and yam, he suddenly stopped. He heard a sound. It was not the sound of birds. It was not the sound of wind. It was crying. A soft, painful cry. Obinna stood still. Who is crying here? He asked himself. The sound came again. Please, the voice cried. Obinna felt something move inside his chest. Is someone hurt? He asked. He dropped his hoe and followed the sound carefully, pushing leaves aside as he walked deeper into the garden. Then he saw her. Under a mango tree sat a young girl. She was sitting on the ground with her knees close to her chest. Her face was wet with tears. Her clothes were dusty, but she was very beautiful. When she saw Obinna, she screamed lightly and tried to stand, but she was weak and sat back down. Please don't hurt me, she cried. Obinna quickly raised his hands. Hey, hey, he said softly. I will not hurt you. The girl looked at him with fear in her eyes. Why are you crying in my garden? Obinna asked gently. The girl wiped her face with her hands. I don't know where I am, she said in a shaking voice. Obinna frowned. What do you mean you don't know? He asked. This is Okoro village. She shook her head slowly. I don't know how I got here, she said. I don't know where to go. Obinna looked around the garden. No one brought you here? He asked. I don't remember, she replied. Obinna scratched his head. Where are your parents? He asked. The girl shook her head again. I don't know them, she said quietly. Obinna felt confused. What is your name? He asked. My name is Mary, she replied. Obinna stood there for a moment, thinking. No girl just appears in a man's farm, he thought. But when he looked at Mary again, he felt pity. She looked tired, she looked lost, she looked scared. You cannot stay here, Obinna said softly. People will talk. Mary nodded slowly. I understand, she said. Can you walk? Obinna asked. Yes, she replied, trying to stand again. She stood this time but almost fell. Obinna held her arm. Easy, he said. Mary looked at him with surprise. Thank you, she whispered. Come, Obinna said. I will take you to my house. Mary looked at him carefully. Why are you helping me? She asked. Obinna shrugged. I don't know, he said. I just cannot leave you here. Mary nodded. Thank you, Obinna, she said. They walked together toward the village. As they passed through the road, people stared. Who is that girl? A woman whispered. Is she his wife? Another asked. Mary stayed close to Obinna. She did not speak. When they reached Obinna's house, he opened the door. Sit here, he said. He brought water and food. Eat, he said. You must be hungry. Mary ate slowly. Is the food okay? Obinna asked. Yes, she replied. Thank you. Obinna sat across from her. Try to remember something, he said. Your home, your village, anything. Mary closed her eyes. After some time, she opened them and shook her head. I see nothing, she said. Obinna sighed. You can stay here for now, Obinna said. Mary looked up. Really? She asked. Yes, he replied. We will think later. Mary smiled slightly. Thank you, she said again. That smile touched Obinna's heart. She is different, he thought. Days passed, and Mary stayed in his house. She woke up early, she cooked well, she cleaned well. People noticed. That girl is respectful, women said. Obinna felt proud. One evening, they sat outside. Mary, Obinna said, do you like living here? Yes, she replied. Do you want to stay with me? He asked. Mary looked at him. As your wife? She asked softly. Obinna smiled. Yes. Mary smiled too. If that is your wish, she said. The next day, Obinna's friend Chinidu came running. Obinna, he called. Is it true? What? Obinna asked. That you brought a strange girl home, Chinidu said. She is not strange, Obinna replied. Chinidu entered and saw Mary sweeping. Good afternoon, Mary said politely. Chinidu nodded but looked worried. He pulled Obinna aside. My friend, he whispered, this is not normal. She was crying in my garden, Obinna said. Exactly, Chinidu replied. No girl just appears in a man's farm. Obinna frowned. She needed help, he said. Help her and let her go, Chinidu said. No, Obinna replied. She will stay. Chinidu sighed. I have warned you, he said. One morning, Obinna woke up early. He heard sweeping sounds. He opened his door. His heart stopped. He saw two Marys sweeping the compound. He rubbed his eyes. When he looked again, there was only one. Mary, he called. Yes, she answered calmly. Were you sweeping just now? He asked. Yes, she replied. Obinna forced a smile. Nothing, he said. But fear entered his heart. That night, Obinna could not sleep well. He remembered the crying girls, that he remembered the curses. No, he whispered. This is nothing. But deep inside, he knew something was wrong. And he did not know that bringing Mary home was the biggest mistake of his life. At first, Obinna tried to tell himself that everything was normal. Mary cooked well, Mary cleaned the house, Mary spoke gently, Mary smiled often. From the outside, life looked peaceful. But inside Obinna's heart, small fear was growing, little by little. One early morning, while the sky was still dark and the village was quiet, Obinna heard a sound. Sweep, sweep, sweep. He turned on his mat and listened. Is Mary awake already? He asked himself. The sound was coming from outside the house. Obinna stood up slowly and opened the door. What he saw made his body freeze. There were two Marys. Both were sweeping the compound, both wore the same cloth, both moved the same way. Obinna's mouth opened, but no sound came out. His heart beat fast. What is this? He whispered. He closed his eyes quickly and rubbed them hard. This must be my eyes, he said. I did not sleep well. He opened his eyes again. There was only one Mary. She looked up and smiled. Good morning, Obinna, she said. Obinna forced a smile. Good morning, he replied. His hands were shaking. Mary continued sweeping like nothing happened. Obinna sat on a stool and watched her. Mary, he said slowly, did you wake up early today? Yes, she replied. I always wake up early. Were you outside just now? He asked. Yes, she answered. Were you alone? He asked carefully. Mary stopped sweeping and looked at him. Yes, she said. Why do you ask? Obinna laughed nervously. Oh, nothing, he said. I was just asking. But inside his heart, fear grew bigger. The next day, the same thing happened. At exactly the same time. Around 5 a.m. Sweep, sweep, sweep. Obinna jumped up quickly and opened the door. Again, he saw two Marys. This time, he screamed. Hey! The two Marys turned and looked at him at the same time. Their eyes were calm. Obinna closed his eyes and shouted. God help me. When he opened his eyes again, there was only one Mary. She stood there quietly. Obinna, she said softly, why are you shouting? Obinna stepped back. I thought I saw something, he said. Mary smiled gently. You are tired, she said. You work too hard. Obinna nodded, but he did not believe her. From that day, Obinna stopped sleeping well. At night, he turned on the mat. Mary slept calmly beside him. Sometimes, Obinna watched her sleep. How can someone sleep like this, he wondered. One night, he asked her quietly. Mary, do you have family? Mary opened her eyes slowly. No, she replied. No parents, he asked. No, she said again. No village, he asked. Mary looked at him for a long time. This place is my home now, she said. Her voice was calm, but her eyes were strange. Obinna felt cold. Obinna could not keep the secret anymore. That afternoon, he went to see his friend, Chinedu. Chinedu was sitting outside his house. My friend, Chinedu said, you look weak. Obinna sat down heavily. Chinedu, he said, I need to talk. Chinedu looked serious. Speak, he said. Obinna lowered his voice. I see two Marys every morning, he said. Chinedu laughed. You joke too much, he said. I am serious, Obinna replied. Chinedu stopped laughing. Explain, he said. Obinna told him everything. The sweeping, the two Marys, the fear. Chinedu's face changed. My friend, he said slowly, this is not good. What should I do? Obinna asked. Chinedu stood up. Send her away, he said. Nothing like this happened before she came. Obinna shook his head. I cannot, he said. Why? Chinedu asked. I love her, Obinna replied. Chinedu sighed deeply. Love should not bring fear, he said. The next morning, Chinedu came early to Obinna's house. He hid behind a tree. At exactly 5 a.m., he saw it. Two Marys. Both sweeping. Chinedu covered his mouth. This is not human, he whispered. Suddenly, the two Marys stopped and looked in his direction. Chinedu ran. He ran without looking back. Later that day, Chinedu returned, shaking. Obinna, he said, listen to me. Obinna nodded. She is not human, Chinedu said. Obinna shouted. Stop it. Chinedu held his shoulders. My friend, remember the girls you hurt. Obinna looked away. They cried, Chinedu continued. They cursed. Obinna swallowed hard. Bad actions call bad spirits, Chinedu said. Obinna sat down slowly. You think Mary is sent? He asked. Chinedu nodded. Yes, he said. To punish you. No, Obinna shouted. I don't believe it. He stood up angrily. Mary loves me, he said. She cares for me. Chinedu looked sad. Sometimes, danger comes smiling, he said. Obinna walked away. I will not send her away, he said firmly. From that day, Mary changed a little. She smiled less, she watched Obinna more, her voice became deeper at night. One evening, Obinna asked. Mary, why do you look at me like that? Mary smiled slowly. Because I belong here, she said. Her words made Obinna uncomfortable. Neighbors began to talk. That house is strange, they said. We hear sounds early morning, others added. One woman whispered. That girl is not normal. Obinna ignored them. One night, Obinna dreamed again. Girls stood around him. They pointed at him. You did this, they said. You laughed at our tears. He woke up shouting. Mary sat up and looked at him. Why are you afraid? She asked. Obinna stared at her. I don't know, he said. Mary smiled softly. Soon, she said. What? Obinna asked. Soon you will understand, she replied. Obinna felt fear like never before. And he did not know that the worst night was very close. The night came quietly, like every other night in Okoro village. The moon was bright, hanging in the sky like a white plate. Crickets sang in the grass. The village was calm, and most people were already asleep. Inside Obinna's house, a small oil lamp burned softly. Obinna sat on his bed, rubbing his hands together. Something did not feel right. Mary sat beside him, quiet and still. You are not talking tonight, Obinna said, trying to smile. Mary turned and looked at him. I am listening, she said. Obinna laughed lightly. You always listen, he said. But sometimes I don't understand you. Mary smiled slowly. You will understand soon, she said. Her voice was calm, but it made Obinna feel cold inside. Obinna lay down on the mat, facing the wall. Mary, he said after some time, do you ever feel bad for hurting people? Mary was quiet for a moment. Hurt? She asked. Yes, Obinna said. When someone cries because of you. Mary sat up slowly. People cry for many reasons, she said. Obinna turned to look at her. But some cries are deep, he said. Some cries come from pain. Mary looked at him with strange eyes. Pain is a door, she said softly. A door to what? Obinna asked. Mary smiled. To truth. Obinna laughed nervously. You talk in a strange way sometimes, he said. Mary lay back down. Sleep, she said. Tomorrow will come. Obinna closed his eyes, but sleep did not come fast. When Obinna finally slept, he dreamed again. He was standing in his garden. The crops were dry. The soil was black. Girls stood around him. Amara, Ngozi, others he could not count. They pointed at him. You promised, one said. You lied, another cried. We trusted you, they shouted. Obinna fell to his knees. I am sorry, he cried. They all spoke at once. Sorry is too late. Suddenly, the ground opened. Darkness rose like smoke. Obinna screamed. Obinna woke up suddenly. His body was wet with sweat. He tried to move his hand. Something cold touched him. Very cold. He froze. Mary, he whispered. There was no answer. Slowly, Obinna turned his head. What he saw made his heart stop. A huge snake lay beside him. Its body was thick, its skin was dark and shiny, its eyes were open. The snake's head was close to his chest. Obinna could not breathe. This is not real, he whispered. The snake moved. Obinna screamed. Jesus! The snake lifted its head slowly and hissed. Obinna jumped off the bed and fell to the floor. He crawled backward, shaking. "Mary!" he shouted. "Mary!" The snake moved again. Obinna stood up and ran. Obinna ran out of the house barefoot. The door hit the wall loudly. "Help!" he shouted. The village was quiet. No one answered. He did not look back. He ran and ran until his chest burned. He reached Chinidu's house and banged the door. "Chinidu! Open! Open!" Chinidu woke up and opened the door. "Obinna," he said. "What is wrong?" Obinna fell inside. She is not human," Obinna cried. Chinidu closed the door quickly. "What happened?" he asked. "There was a snake," Obinna shouted. "A big snake on my bed." Chinidu's face changed. "Where is Mary?" he asked. "She disappeared," Obinna replied. Chinidu sat down slowly. "I warned you," he said. Obinna covered his face and cried. "I didn't listen," he said. "I didn't listen." Chinidu placed his hand on Obinna's shoulder. "My friend," he said gently, "this is the result of your actions." Obinna looked up. "All those girls," he said. "Their tears, their curses." Chinidu nodded. "Words spoken from pain are strong," he said. Obinna shook his head. "What do I do now?" he asked. Chinidu sighed. "First, thank God you are alive," he said. When morning came, news spread fast. Obinna ran from his house at night, people said. Something chased him, others whispered. Some women shook their heads. "We warned him," they said. Chinidu and Obinna went to Obinna's house together. The door was open. The bed was broken. The room was cold. There was no snake. There was no Mary. Only silence. Obinna sat on the ground and cried. "She was never real," he said. Chinidu nodded. "She came as a lesson," he replied. Days passed. Obinna stopped farming for a while. He stayed indoors. He thought about everything. "I was proud," he said one day. "I hurt people," he said another day. Chinidu listened. "You can still change," Chinidu said. Obinna nodded. "I will never play with hearts again," he said. Slowly, Obinna returned to his farm. But he was different. He greeted people kindly. He avoided trouble. He helped those he once ignored. When girls passed, he looked away. "I have learned," he said to himself. Sometimes at night, he still remembered the snake. And he shivered. People in Okoro village still talk about that night. They tell their children. Do not play with people's hearts. Do not laugh at tears. Because one day, those tears may come back in a form you never expect. And Obinna, the proud farmer of Okoro village, learned this truth the hard way. Moral lesson. Hurting others may look small today, but the pain you cause can return tomorrow. Respect people's hearts, because every action has a result.